I Am Angus is brought to you by the Igenity Profile for Angus, the industry's most comprehensive DNA profile.
A lot of people have forgotten what built this country, and I think a lot of what built this country was agriculture and ranching, and that's a lot of our heritage. It's a lot about what this country is and the ability for it to raise its own food supply. And the thought of us being dependent on other countries to raise our food for us really kind of eats at me a little bit. It's kind of hard for me to fathom that, just because I think that's one of the strongholds that this country was built on. And I think if we ever get to that where the ranching is gone in the United States, I don't think the country would survive that much longer.
My great-grandfather came here in the late 1800s. He actually came here predominantly after timber. He was in the timber business in Michigan. Moved here, started in the cattle business right after the turn of the century. So much of this land was vast prairies and just such wonderful cattle land. And that's what got him started into the cattle business. And, as time has progressed, we've stayed, as a family, we've stayed in the business. And now we're progressing on 2 more generations behind me. So I was riding a horse from the time I was 6 or 7 years old with the cow crew every day, and it's kind of really the only thing I've ever known. And, I don't know, I just don't believe I'd have made it in city life.
It's been a goal of ours for a long time, is we want to have the best quality of cattle that we can have. I mean, we are progressive breeders, but feel like we need to at times step. I ain't talking with that dog in my back pocket.
Get on, lay down. Get on here.
Barking
Get
especially.
Get on. Get on.
But our goals for the future is to keep increasing the quality of our cattle, and we feel like we've got cattle that will work now, but we always have room for improvement, and we're not going to sit back and just take that for granted. We want to we think in order to stay on top of things in this industry, we need to always be willing to change or make improvements. Our customers want black heifers. They want Angus sired females, and
another advantage to the Angus calf is we can send it almost anywhere, especially these higher percentage Angus calves. It doesn't matter how cold it is, they can go there. And we've got, I think it's 29 different marks and brands on this ranch. Everybody has their own cattle. We have company cattle, and then every member of the family has their own individual cattle. And
I guess what I really like about ranching is the fact that, of course, we grew up in it. Part of what's so good is we get to work with our family every day, and it's not that we get along every day, but if we didn't have our differences, something wouldn't be right.
When you're saddling up in the morning, if you think, geez, this is a mess, but you look at what it does for everybody and teaching them the right work ethics, and I think that's something that Dad did a great job instilling in us when we were young, is teaching us how to work. And I think so many kids today don't get that opportunity, and I worry about that for our country. And I feel more comfortable, at least in the fact, knowing that my kids will, and makes me feel a lot better about the security of this place down the road.